Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We are doing a special grid down live from the bunker, ladies and gentlemen. Let me explain to you why here in a minute. I'm going to say hello to a few of you because I know this is kind of impromptu. So, I'm probably going to make this a marathon live stream. I've never had one. And the reason being is, well, let me explain once a few of you pop in. Let me say hello to Jan. Jan, how you doing? Jan, check your email. Check your email, and I'll tell you why. Let me see if some of our other mods come in here in a minute. Hey, how you doing, Thomas from Australia? Good to see you. Annette King, hello. Cheesecake, how are you doing? Good to see you. Jen N, how are you doing? Let me see. Tiladana from Texas, how are you doing? Oh goodness, we have you all coming in now. Let's see who else we have. Crafty Craft LOL. How are you doing? The Red Maple Grove, Heather Welch, Deborah J, Annette. How are you? Scott Hummer, Tina, Julie, James Tyler. How you doing, James? Good to see you. Lady Mel, how are you? Good to see you as well. Karen, Jack, Sunset. Good to see you. Love you too. Merry Christmas, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We are 2 days away from Christmas. Colleen Rich, how are you doing, Colleen? Catherine, Nuna is in the house. How you doing, Nuna? Gordon, Eric T, how you doing, Eric? Good to see you, man. Hope the kiddos are doing well. Jessica, Scan, Annie, Melissa, Pauline, Sailor Stout, Helen, Jay Gunther, Busy B is here. Jason, Happy Mac is in the house. Merry Christmas. Lisa, Bibby, Alaska Gwen is here. Hello. Autumnal Amber from upstate New York. Hello. Otto's Granny's here. Phil R, -6. Free at last. How you doing? Good afternoon. Wise Dove, Missy, JJ is here. Ruben, QUSMC, how you doing? Good to see you. Double Tap, how you doing? Oh my goodness, this is a hard one. Let me see. Rugger Roddy's Adventures. Good to see you. Kimberly, how you doing? Sarah, Civic Girl, how are you? MGDP, see, I like those names right there. MGDP. Blessed Christmas to you as well, DP. Joyful Orange, Devlin, Vivian, Joe Wilkinson, Miriam, or Mary Ann, Stephanie, Hillary, Jeannie, Tommy, Joseph, Margaret, Terry, Renee, the one and only. How you doing? All the way from Belgium. Welcome. The blessed girl is here as well. GT Jr., Rudolph Nems, or Neems, Sneesley, Leah. Good to see you all. Linda Bopp is in the house. How you doing? And I am staying warm, Linda. Thank you. Let's see. It's not that cold here today. It's -9. -9, 57 degrees in the bunker. Good enough, right? Good enough. That's why I've got my little cozy jacket on. Jason Jimenez, how are you? Melanie, Dan, Chelsea, how are you doing? Good to see you. Sunny, where is the Justice? How are you? Good to see you. Mohawk, Rafter Stacker, NC, Becca, Sabrina, Suburban Garden, Betty Randall is here. White, Hammer is here. Donna, WV Valley, Anita, Serious Prepper. One of the few in North Carolina with power. Amanda Fishes, how you doing? Roberts, JJ, Debbie, 2 Debbies in a row. Our Cabin in the Woods, Alan G, Marsock, Tina, Dreams Acres is here. Dreams Acres says, we got several inches of snow and really high winds today, 7 degrees. Praying the power doesn't go out, but we are prepared. Good. Key word there is being prepared. Big T is here. Merry Christmas, Big T. Darla, Carrie, Tammy, Michelle. The 49 State is in the house. Frank Rizzo is here. Lisa. Okay. Underdog is here. B. Walker made it. How you doing, B. Walker? Good to see you. Yarn Prepper is in the house. How you doing, Yarn Prepper? I wonder how JT is doing over there. Hopefully she'll be able to chime in today. Ms. Worm is in the house. How you doing, Copernicus? Chinvin, Merry Christmas. Snow and power outages in my area. It's going to continue to happen, ladies and gentlemen. These weather events that we're seeing that they're calling, 50-year weather events, once-in-a-lifetime weather events. We've been hearing that more and more often. Remember back in 2021, February in Texas, they said that that was a 1 in 50 year, I think, weather event. Well, here we are again with one that's even worse, right? So it's going to continue to happen. It's just a cycle, right? So we just have to make sure that we're prepared for all of that. Now, I've got a whole bunch of stuff to go over with you all today and to talk about. So depending on how my voice box does, I guess will depend on how long we stay on. Obviously, this is going to be our live stream of the day, so I apologize to anyone that maybe comes on at 2 o'clock, but who knows? Maybe we'll be on till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, that is. We'll see what happens, and I'm going to tell you why here in a minute. I just want to continue to go down a little bit. Mitch J, how you doing? Merry Christmas. D Van, how you doing? Merry Christmas. Never Look Back. Monica's here. Andrea, Terry, Kim, Preston, Mike, Lisa, how you doing? Annabelle is in the house. How you doing, Annabelle? Merry Christmas to you. Garden Matic is here. Jason, I Love Jesus in the house. Hello. Say hello to the girls. I hope you're all doing well. Leah, Mr. Tom is in the house, and he says it's 23 degrees here now. Mr. Tom, have you gotten that package yet? It might get there late because of the weather and stuff, but it should still be on the way. I tracked it this morning, and it said that it was en route. Missy, Marion, how you doing? Conspiracy Realist Mom, good to see you. Brian Fitzgerald, how are you doing? Much love to you as well, and Merry Christmas, Brian. Good to see you all. Colorado Pack Rat. I always mess that up, Colorado. Colorado Pack Rat Prepper. CPP is in the house. Mike McDonald, -3 degrees. Ungrateful Peasant, 5 degrees in East Tennessee. We've got Jack in the house. The one and only says it's 12 degrees Celsius in Belgium. So let's see, 12 degrees Celsius is about 20, 21 plus 30. So it's about 54, 55 degrees Fahrenheit in Belgium right now, roughly. If I did my math, pretty close. Let's see, who else do we have? We got Nicole in the house. We got the Prince. We have Boomstick here. Good to see you. We have Sassy's Sweets and Savories. Enigmatic, how are you doing? Rudolph Nemes, I think I already said hello to you, Rudolph. You got a 2 for 1 today. Andrea Wimmer, Gail Hooper. Let's see. Ann Palmer from the great state of Louisiana is in the house. Yes, this is a surprise. I'm waiting for a few more of you to jump in, but I think that's going to be about it. This was kind of impromptu. I just decided, Mario's in the house. I just decided to go live and see how long we can go before my voice gives out. All right, let's see. We've got Lady Mel in the house. Merry Christmas to you. Oh, that was the 2 for 1 again. New is here. Good to see you. Becca Scraps. Becca, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. So very nice to see you, Becca. Merry Christmas. Naj, how are you doing, Naj? Penn is here. Merry Christmas. Jen Teal, all the way from Southwest Michigan. Connie T is here. Merry Christmas, Connie. Slovenian Prepper is here from Slovenia. Merry Christmas to you. Amanda K. Michelle Diaz is here. Let's see. Let's work it on down. We've got plenty of time today, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty of time. What? Chelsea says it's my birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Chelsea. Let me see. Well, let me read it first. It's my birthday tomorrow. My hubby William graduated police academy yesterday. Need more patriots? Absolutely. We need good people in those roles. I agree 100%. Yes. Let me see. What's your William? Congratulations, William. And from what Chelsea has written here, I'm sure that you've already read the Constitution. So congratulations to you. We need patriots in those areas. You know, I often say, and I've often said that I don't recommend to anyone that they join the military nowadays. And the reason is because of what they are used for. However, I'm wrong in saying that. And the reason I'm wrong in saying that is because we do need good people, even though we are going through hard times, in my opinion, with the government that we have. We need good people in those positions. That way, if the time ever came where they had to say no, or they had to say, no, I'm not going to go ahead and abide by that order because it's not a lawful order, then we need good people to be able to stand up. So congratulations, William, and that's awesome. And thank you. And happy birthday, Chelsea. for tomorrow. Happy birthday. I'm sure that tomorrow is going to be a great day, and may the good Lord bless you and many more. Happy birthday to you. That is awesome. Let's see. Let's bring it on down a little bit. Becca says surviving in slippery Seattle. Yes, yes. And you all are not used to that. I don't even think that you all do like tire changes for the wintertime in Seattle and the upper half of Washington State. So very dangerous to be driving out this time of or during this time. Potato Head is here. Merry Christmas. Jimbo Khan, how you doing? Let's see. Linda Bob says it is -1 degrees Fahrenheit here in Western Pennsylvania. Got up this morning and it was 34 degrees Fahrenheit with rain. Wow, that's a big change. And that rain, no good. Not in that kind of temperatures. No good. Let's see. Who else do we have? Let me see. I'm looking. Amanda, how you doing? Michelle Diaz, how you doing? Everyone's saying happy birthday to Chelsea. And congratulations to William. Let's see. Yak has a question. AP and everyone, what is y'all's year prepping goals? Well, everyone is different. So my prepping goal throughout the year and going forward is to continue to fill in the gaps, to continue to look into new things that maybe that I don't know about. You know, I love to review gear. I actually have a review coming up of something that it was very difficult for me to purchase because I found it a little bit pricey, but it's something that it's for cooking during grid down. It's something that I feel that if we have a long-term grid down, that would come in very handy and make cooking a lot easier for a lot of people instead of just like cooking one meal at a time out of a jet boil or something like that. So hopefully I'll be reviewing that here in the very near future. I'll probably wait till next year to do that. Or maybe not. We'll see. Who knows? How you doing, Terry? Pinch runner? Sean Penrod's in the house. How you doing? We got Hawkeye in the house. Thank you, Hawkeye, for sending me that picture. I'll be sharing that during today's live stream. So we have a few of you today here. So ladies and gentlemen, grid down live stream today. And the reason why I'm calling it a grid down live stream special is because here in Alaska, let me see. Oh, our power just came back on. Our power has been going on and off for like the last, what time is it, 10? For about the last 6 hours, our power has been going on, going off for an hour, on for 15, 20 minutes, off. So it's been going on and off. It just happens to be on right now. I can tell by the light that I can see outside. So I was like, well, you know, I have plans on going out into town today and doing a few things, and I still do. And I found out that in Fairbanks, about half or most of Fairbanks is without power. And we have power right now, so I don't know how everything is looking down there right now. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do a grid down live stream impromptu and replace this afternoon's live stream with this one. And then after that's done, hopefully I can go into town and take care of the things that I have to take care of. One of them is no good. One of them is I have to go pay my property taxes. All right. Excuse me. But still have to get it done. I'm trying to get it done today. That way I don't have to worry about it next week. But we'll see what happens. Saria Israel, how are you doing? Good to see you. Marcus Turman, how are you? Good to see you all the way from Georgia. Well, welcome. Welcome, Marcus. Kit Carlson, good to see you as well. Welcome. Shy Moment is here. Gordon D. Thank you, Gordon, and welcome. Very, very happy to have you. Now, there are a couple of things that I have to show you, ladies and gentlemen, before we start. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm hoping that those that come in later on, or maybe I'll go ahead and share it again later on. That way you can all see. So I was talking to my brother yesterday, and he said that he typed in Alaska Prepper into a search engine, and he said that he saw a whole bunch of Alaska Prepper like on the web. I'm like, really? I've never searched Alaska Prepper on DuckDuckGo or Google or anything like that. So I didn't know. I'm like, all right, let me check it out. And I found a few things, and it's just a warning. I want to give you a warning. And let me show you what it is. This right here, what you're looking at, the domain name, I believe, is Alaska Preppers. Alaska Prepper with an S in the end. Now, before I even show you the rest, I want to say that it doesn't bother me one bit. I don't even know if this site was up before I ever even opened up the Alaska Prepper channel. But what I want to warn you about is that if you go to a site like this, make sure that you understand that it does not belong to me, because if you think it belongs to me and you click on stuff that they may be selling or that they may be offering, that has nothing to do with me. It doesn't bother me that other sites use a name, that use my name. If they want to make a buck off my name, I don't really care. And I'm not even saying that this one is specifically that, but I wanted to show you a couple that are. So if you take a look at this Facebook page, I used to have a Facebook page and I no longer do. I shut it down because it was full of spam and trolls. So I just shut it down. So this Facebook page right here is not mine. So if for some reason you go to this Facebook page, it is not mine. If you buy something from here, it has nothing to do with me. The reason I'm telling you that is so that you can be careful. Okay, be careful with these sites that pretty much use this name, the Alaska Prepper name. If you take a look at this site right here, it says at Alaska Prepper 12, and then it says journalist, right? This has nothing to do with me. So please be careful if you visit other sites that have the Alaska Prepper name. Another one is this one right here. This one right here is from prepping.com. And as you can see, they've taken all my videos and put it up on their site, right? Like I said, it doesn't bother me that they do this. If they want to make a dime, I don't even know if they make money off of this. It doesn't bother me if they do this. That's all fine and dandy. It actually helps to spread the word about preparedness. So I'm fine with it. But if you go to these sites, you would see that there's like advertisements on it and things like that. And that's what you have to be careful with. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please do not get scammed. All right, please do not get scammed. Again, I don't care if they use my videos or if they put it on a different website and they purchase a domain that sounds like my name or anything like that. I don't care about any of that. All right, in all honesty. But just be careful if you go to these sites. Please do not get scammed. All right. The only site that I have that's actually mine that has the Alaska Prepper name on it is this one here on YouTube. I do have I believe it's called a Odyssey. I do have an Odyssey that is Alaska Prepper. I believe I have a BitChute. Those are pretty much dormant. And a lot of my videos go up there automatically also. That's Alaska Prepper. And of course, I have I have Rumble. All right. I also have Rumble. All right. But none of those sites are in independent websites where like I started a website called Alaska Prepper or anything like that. So the message is be careful and don't get scammed. Okay. Let's see. I do not know if I know who that is. I haven't been to their channel in a long time, so I can't tell you if I know who that is. And Chris Archer, how you doing? Welcome. Merry Christmas to you, Chris. Eddie Cruz, how are you doing? Good to see you all the way from NYC. Eddie, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. I know you are now because I think you're one of the ones that won a nutrient survival pack a long time ago. So Sean Penrod, how you doing? Don't you know is here? Jennifer Cruz, how you doing? Good to see you. Again, let me see. A few more of you have joined in. So the reason I'm doing this live stream is because right now, well, I've been having a grid down situation here for like the last 6 hours, and the power's been coming on and off, but everything in the house is hooked up for a grid down situation like we're having a day going on and off. And pretty much from what I understand, a lot of Fairbanks right now is having power outages as well. It's not that cold here right now. It's -10 outside, but we have been having a little bit of wind, which during this time of the year, it could be a little bit of a problem because right now, a lot of trees are weighed down with snow, and the wind could be that last straw that broke the camel's back, to put it in a better way, I guess. In a way, it's kind of good because if the tree holds off, what the wind's been doing on my property, at least, it's been shaking all of the snow off the trees, allowing the trees to stand back up. If I took you on a tour of the property right now, you'll see that a lot of trees, especially the birch, I really like birch trees because they're very flexible. And when they do snap, they usually snap from about 3/4 of the way up, and they fold in on themselves instead of snapping straight down like pine trees, like pine trees or spruce, they like to snap close to the bottom and just go straight down. But birch trees are very flexible, and when they do snap, they usually snap from halfway or to 3/4 of the way up, and they fold in on themselves. So that's good. So a lot of the trees on the property, they're sagging because they've got a lot of snow on them. But this wind that we had this morning shook a lot of the snow off. So that's a good thing. It's allowing them to straighten back up. Let's see. Oh, thank you, American Girl. Thank you very much. I like the name. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Well, welcome to the live stream. I'm glad that you caught it. God bless you too. Many blessings to you and your family, and thank you for being here. We have a lot of stuff to go over today. A lot of stuff to talk about, so we'll probably be here for a little bit. Pilgrim Prepper, how you doing? Jen N, how are you? Let's see. What else? Who else we have? All right. So I don't think JT is here, so I'll have to send her an email to make sure. Outlaw Farms, how you doing? Sharon, how are you? SJ Mullen is here. How you doing? Let me see. Hawkeye says that, where's Hawkeye? Hawkeye says Trader Joe's ran out of milk, eggs, meat today. People are storm prepping. Man, I'll tell you what, incredible. Incredible. I mean, I can say a lot about that, but I won't. People should just be prepared. All that is. Let's see. Vanessa says, a bit of positive news. No one is covering. The Amish farmer, Amos Miller, won his case. Oh my goodness, that is such great news. Thank you for that. That is such great news. I am so happy to hear that. That is great news, ladies and gentlemen. I am so happy. The reason that is such good news is more so, it has to do more than just that one person. What's his name? Amos Miller. It has more to do than just with him and his business, because it sets a precedent. It sets a precedent that hopefully that won't happen to other farmers and people that want to sell good food to their community, at least in that state. I'm not sure if this is something that's nationwide, but at least for the state that they're in, it does that. And it will keep, the USDA thugs from coming in and stealing all your stuff and or dumping it out in the garbage. And I think, from what I understand, a lot of his livestock was euthanized as well. So that is great news. Thank you for that. How you doing, Al the Gamer? Good to see you. How you doing, Winning Street? Good to see you and welcome. Welcome. Nice to see you here today. CET 675. Queen Nia's here, Chief Prepper. Man, we've got all of you guys here today. That is so awesome. It's good to see you all. It's the last live stream before Christmas. Let's see. Cheryl Fatigue, how are you? Lady Blue Eyes, how you doing? Good to see you. Surviving Behind Liberal Lines is in the house. Let's see who else. Angela Cheney, how are you? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you something great news. Great news, because so many people have been emailing me wondering what's going on. I'm going to show you something really quick. Let me see if I can share the screen with it real quick. Let's see. Let me see. Share screen. I won't be able to do it here, will I? No, I won't. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Contingency Medical is back up. They're back up. And I know that they are back up because I just ordered one of these packs, the Pack Plus. I just ordered one of these packs for each of my moderators. So look for an email, my mods, from Contingency Medical. I already took care of Miss Worm because she's over in the UK. But my mods that are here, Jan, Yarn Prepper, and JT, look for an email from Contingency Medical that has a code where you can go and get one of the Pack Pluses, the biggest pack they have, right? And they are back up and running. If you're one of those people that has emailed me in the last week and wondering why they were down, they were working with their payment processor. It's all taken care of. And if you do go over there to get it, make sure to use the code AKPrepper10. Let me write that down. I'm going to take the time to write it down because it's important. Here we go. Let's see. Where is it? Give me a second. Let me make sure that I get it right. That way I don't AK prep 10. Okay, there you go. Give me a second. Let's see. Okay. All right. So I'll leave that up there for a few minutes. Like I said, if you're one of the people that have been wanting to get a pack or a couple for your household, and the server's been down for like the last week, really, what they were doing is they were changing payment servers, and now they're able to do their orders a lot faster. So now when you order it, it's a lot faster for it to get to you than it was before. So that's why they took that time to make that change. And I talked to CEO, his name is Theron. I'm hoping to have him on one of these days on a live stream so that you can all ask him questions directly. But really, the process is pretty much streamlined. It's literally less than 10 minutes from the time that you click the link and you have your order done and ready and getting reviewed by a medical doctor, and then the prescription filled by a pharmacist. All right, so this is completely legal. But for the next 5 days, I'm going to talk him into it starting tomorrow. So tomorrow, Sunday, all the way through next Wednesday, if you use AK Prep 10, you get 10% off instead of $10 off. So he changed the code so that you can get 10% off instead of $10 off, because normally it's just $10 off. But I talked to him into making it 10% off for those of you that were trying to order, and to kind of like give you a little gift for having to wait so long to be able to order it. But it is up right now. And again, make sure that you check your emails, Jan, Yarn Prepper, and JT, because you should have an email from Contingency Medical so that you can get online. Just click on the link, get online, use that code, and you're going to get a free Pack Plus. All you have to do is fill out the questionnaire. And the questionnaire is only like maybe 7 or 8 questions or something like that. It literally takes less than 10 minutes to do it. And it is something, ladies and gentlemen, like, for example, this one here is my wife's pack. All right, so this is my wife's pack. Little Miss Alaska Prepper's pack is in the mail. We ordered that as well. And the pack that I'm going to buy for my son and my daughter-in-law, we'll do that on Sunday during Christmas because they're going to be here. Because I tried to order theirs while the system was down. That's how I found out that the system was down. So again, thank you very much, Contingency Medical, for giving us that 10% off. That's awesome. And yes, I used that 10% off today, and it worked. So let's see. White Clover Homestead, thank you. Hey, Merry Christmas from Healy. Nice. Negative 65. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not complaining. It's only negative 10. Not complaining. Haven't been on to watch. Okay, well, thank you for being here, White Clover. That is incredible. Negative 65. And we'll take a look at what it's looking like in the lower 48s and see where everything is coming from that you are all going to be getting here in the next couple of days. All right, so we'll take a look at that here in a minute. Let's see. Hey, Sharon, go ahead and send me an email. Send me an email on that, and we can work that out. You know, normally I wouldn't do this. I would just say, hey, make sure you go through their customer service line. But I know that Theron, he's been very busy trying to get this switched over this week. But send me an email. If you like, send it to me with your phone number, and I can call you, and then maybe we can get Theron on the phone so he can help you out. Okay? How you doing, Boone22? Good to see you. Jackie5, how you doing? Merry Christmas. UK Canner's in the house. How you doing? Tommy Bites is in the house. How you doing, Tommy? Good to see you. Long Dog T in the house. Long Dog T, are you one of the ones that want a silver bar? Let me check this out real quick. Give me a second. Let's see. No, you're not. You're not. Okay, no, you want something else. Okay. You want something else. I was going to say those 2 5-ounce silver bars, they've been shipped. All right. So if you're watching right now, the 2 people that won the 2 5-ounce silver bars from our Christmas Bash giveaway, they are shipped. And I emailed you a tracking number in case you haven't checked your emails. I think that's the last one that I had to work on to make sure that everyone that won during the Christmas Bash giveaway got their prize. Let's see. Lisa Bibby. How are you, Lisa? Rudy, I bought the medicine kit. Oh, you got your contingency medical in 3 days. Yeah, it's pretty, and now it's going to be quicker if you live in the lower 48 because, like I said, the process for the payment processor is a lot faster now. So that's good. And I'm actually talking with Theron, the CEO of Contingency Medical. I've actually been talking to him to see if he can add some other medications that I think are very important to have. I won't say what they are so we don't get kicked out of this live stream, but I've been talking to him and he's looking into those things. And hopefully he can make it better and offer some things that, are pretty vital, in my opinion, having in your medical kit if you're looking to be prepared medically as well as everything else. Be Charming, how you doing? Good to see you. Laura, how are you? Look at this. Isn't this one of the good reasons about being prepared? So grateful. The only prep I had to do for this cold storm was to finish all the laundry, just in case we lost power. Everything else was done. That's awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, it is such a relief to be prepared because look here, we still have power now. All right, it just came back on probably about 5 minutes, 10 minutes before I started the live stream. But this morning, I got up around 4 o'clock this morning. Probably about 45 minutes after I got up, I noticed that the power kept coming on and off, coming on and off. And then finally it went off and it'd been off for about 45 minutes. And I'm like, well, it's about time to go ahead and plug in our fridge and to go ahead and plug in our freezer. I didn't have to worry about my heater because my heater's hooked up to a standalone solar generator. That's UPS, uninterrupted power supply. So when the power kept coming on and off, it didn't bother my house heater at all. I didn't have to worry about my heater that heats my utilities under my house at all because I have that hooked up again to a UPS power supply. So I didn't have to worry about it. And that's what I talk about prepping for grid down, about making sure that you have a generator. And if you already have a gas generator, then a good complement to a gas generator would be a solar generator. Why? Because like I said, it gives you time to think. It gives you time to make a plan if you're going to have a power outage that is a lot longer than what you normally do. Now, I don't know how long the power is going to stay on, henceforth, being that it's on right now. But if it goes out, I have nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing. So it gives you time to think. Having those preps gives you time to sit down, relax, and say, okay, what am I going to do if A happens or B happens or C happens? What am I going to do? And you can think and you don't have to be rushing around. You don't have to be nervous about the situation. You already have what you need. And that's what being prepared is all about. It's not having to rush out and have knee-jerk reactions and do things that you normally wouldn't do just because you're nervous about the situation at hand. You're already taken care of for the time being. And depending on what kind of a power generating system you may have, depends on how long you have before you have to come up with that plan that you're going to execute once, for like in my case, once I get all of my solar generators down to 50%, that's usually when I start thinking about, okay, let's go ahead and hook up our house generator up. That way my solar generators can charge up and we can have them full in case this is going to last longer. And we can switch back and forth, which in my opinion is a great way to save gasoline or propane, depending what kind of a generator you have powering your solar generators intermittently, right? So what I would do is I would power down my solar generators once I got my house generator running, and then I would go ahead and charge all my solar generators. And it may take a couple of hours to charge them all up once I started my house generator. But then I would go ahead and turn my house generator off and then go back on solar generators for the next 6-7 hours, however long it would take for them to go back down to 50%. It's a great way to save gasoline or propane by switching on and off from solar generator power to gas power. Or if you live in an area where it's nice and sunny, you might be able to just live off of solar generator power pretty much until it gets dark, because you have solar panels out there feeding energy into your solar generators while you're using them for your appliances. So that's what being prepared is all about. And it's not only about electricity, it's about making sure that you have a good heat source, which for me, having a good heat source depends on my electricity. I need electricity in order to power the peripherals in my heater that heats my home. All right. JT is in the house. JT, how you doing? JT, if you just chimed in, I was talking about Contingency Medical. They're finally back up. Okay, they're back up. So you should have a code that is emailed to you from Contingency Medical. So go look for it just in case it appears in your spam. Go look for Contingency Medical and email. You should have received it probably within the last 15-30 minutes. And there should be a code there for you to go and get your pack of Contingency Medical antibiotics. All right. So I was wondering if you were going to come on or not, because this is kind of like an impromptu live stream. So you should be able to look for it and order it. And make sure that you have your ID ready. You do need your ID, because it's just like if you go to the pharmacy to get a prescription, right? They have to verify that it's you and that you are at least 16 years old or older. Okay. Let's see. Huge Fried LT215. How are you doing? Good to see you all the way from Philly. Annabelle. Hello, Annabelle, and thank you. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Annabelle. Merry Christmas to you. Hey, John is in the house. How you doing, John? Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Let me see. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to see the real Santa Claus? Here's the real Santa Claus right here. That's John from McBean Fitness. John, if you let that beard grow just a little longer, man, you would be perfect. But you would need a fat suit. You see, I wouldn't, but you would. You would need to get a fat suit to be able to fill out that Santa Claus suit. Trucker Hersey's in the house. How you doing? Let me see. Kit Carlson, how you doing, Kit? The medical pouch you just showed. Yeah, and that's the reason that I decided to partner with them, is because I think it's such a great deal. You get so much more. And ladies and gentlemen, you all know that I don't like to throw any companies under the bus. All right. So I'm not saying anything bad about Jace Medical. I'm not saying anything bad at all. As a matter of fact, I think they did a great thing by introducing antibiotics so that everyone can have them in their emergency preps. They did a great thing. But that's the great thing about competition. Right? Competition allows the consumer, you, to get the best of both worlds. You get with Contingency Medical, you get more product for a better price, and that's a win-win for you. So yeah, that's awesome. -48 in Indiana, incredible. Let's see. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's see. Lori, how you doing? Lori from Lori's Thrifty Kitchen. How are you? Hello, Ada. Good to see you. Melanie White, hello. Shada is here. Hudson Valley Prepping. How you doing? Good to see you. Kitty, hello. East Tennessee Preparedness. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, man, I'm falling behind now. Donna Lottie, how are you? Let's see. Aunt Jenny, how are you doing? Thoughts on a dual power propane? I think they're great. Thank you very much, Aunt Jenny, by the way. A dual fuel generator, I think it's great, especially if it's propane and gas, because propane pretty much lasts forever, right? What I do with my generator, my house generator, I use gasoline in it. I use gasoline in it whenever I power it. Why? Because it's a lot easier for me to replace the gasoline in cans than to move around those, 100-pound propane cylinders, number one. But I like to keep my propane as the very last thing that I use, because it's multi-use. I can use it to heat my bunker. I can use it to heat my home in an emergency. And I can use it to run my generator should I have to. But propane will last forever, right? So whenever I store gasoline, I always put some Stable in it, or stabilizer in it. Whatever brand you want to use, I use Stable. Right. So I always use Stable in my gasoline. It's never failed me, not one time. I always use it first, because if I have to, I can always switch to propane if my gasoline runs out in some kind of a crazy emergency that lasts a very long time. So I think that a dual fuel is a great way to go. I actually had a really good generator before I got the one that I have now. Right now, I have the Furman, the one that you can buy at Costco. And the one that I had before that was a Champion generator that I'd had for years. I don't know, probably close to 10 years I'd had that generator. And I ended up selling it because it was just a gasoline generator. And I wanted to have a gasoline / propane generator. And that's what I have now. It's actually a tri-fuel. You can actually use natural gas with it as well. but we really don't have any natural gas pipes running around where I live. So I just consider it a dual fuel because that's what I have available to me. But absolutely, I would definitely go with a dual fuel if you could. Let me see. Skane's girl says my hot water line froze, but I do have cold water. Water line to the refrigerator is frozen, and the wind was so bad last night it blew the cooler off the outside faucet. Wow, you really want to get some kind of a heater close to, not right up against your water lines, but close to it. That way they don't burst your piping or your tubing going to your ice. You really want to do that. Unless you have PEX. If you have PEX tubing, like that plastic type or PVC type piping or tubing, then that's pretty flexible. When I first moved in here, I actually had some of my PEX water lines freeze, and I just put a heater near it, not right next to it, but near it. And when it thawed off, it was just fine, no leaks or anything like that. But if you have copper piping, you really want to get some heat near it. That way you can bring that temperature up very slowly and your pipes won't burst. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Let me go ahead and grab this really quick, and I want to go ahead and take a look at what the map's looking like, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas, Aunt Jenny. Merry Christmas to you, and thank you. Let me see. Okay, I'm all the way down. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the map looks like and where all of this cold is coming from, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and see if I can set this up. Share. Okay, here we go. All right, so take a look at that. Let me see if I can look at this right here. Here we go. So take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the lower 48, as we like to call it. Here's the border between us and Canada. And then here's the southern border down here. And look at all of this when this is live right now, actually. So this is live. And if you see my mouse, you see my little hand here in the middle, you'll see that wherever I scroll, it tells you what temperature it is in Fahrenheit. So look at this. And look at this here over in Texas. This is actually pretty warm right now for what it's going to be in the future. In the next couple of days, we're supposed to be seeing temperatures in the negatives in northern Texas, right? And I have a niece that lives in northern Texas, and she's already set. She has set to go, but this is what it's looking like. But look at where it's coming from. This is pretty incredible. This is Alaska right here. And look at Canada. Oh my goodness. Almost all of Canada is engulfed in negative degree weather. If not all of it, maybe some. There's a very few spots in Canada where you don't have negative degree weather. But look at this. All of this is coming down this way, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is what I think. I am not a meteorologist in any means, all right? But I just wanted to show you what a big cold front this is. This is going to wreak havoc everywhere. And although I talked about this a little bit, I think it was on yesterday's video. I'm not sure. I put up like 2 or 3 videos yesterday. But I'm not sure how many people are thinking about the crops, about the winter wheat crop that we have here planted, and how much of that is going to die off because there's just not that much snow in the ground to insulate it from the cold. In addition to that, Florida is going to get a little bit warm as well. I mean, cold as well. I believe that they're going to have temperatures that are going to be in the negatives as well, or not negatives, but below freezing. And that's another thing that we have to think about. What is Florida known for? They grow a lot of citrus. So these are things that are going to affect a lot of our crops that are going into next year. And it doesn't look like there's going to be an end to it anytime soon. And you can see right here, this is engulfing almost all of Alaska. I would say about half to 2/3 of Alaska is in negative degree temperatures. And look at this here, negative 42. Look at all this white, negative 50 something I saw. So this is what it's looking like. And let's take a look at the world. I'm not sure if we can see. Look at this. That is incredible. Look at all of this cold. You can see that here near the equator, it's still pretty good. We're in the 70s near the equator. Africa right here has got pretty good temperatures. Not that bad. But look at this storm. It is epic. This is an epic, I'm not sure if you want to call it a storm or just a cold front. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why we prepare. This is why we prepare, ladies and gentlemen, so that when things like this happen, we don't have to be running around like a chicken without his head, right? And this just goes to prove that if you're prepped right now and you live in one of these states or in one of these areas that's going through this right now, then you're not worrying as much as the people that didn't bother preparing. They're now wondering, man, what am I going to do about my pipes freezing? You know, you may have somewhere else to go. Let's say that you have Aunt Sally's house who has a generator and has heat during this, and you have to leave your house because you have none of that. You may have somewhere to go, but what are you going to come home to? You're going to come home. I mean, burst pipes is a big deal. You're talking about pipes inside your walls. I mean, it just makes a mess of your house. It could pretty much somewhat ruin a house. So let's see. Wild Clover. Thank you, Wild Clover. It's my youngest 7th birthday. Can you wish her a happy birthday? One she's pleading. Oh man, I wish you would have told me what the name was. Happy birthday. Wild Clover's young one. And it's a she. Wild Clover's daughter. Happy birthday. Today is definitely a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because it's Wild Clover's daughter's. Let me make sure she didn't leave her name. No, it's Wild Clover's daughter's birthday, so it's a great day. And may the good Lord bless you with many more. I hope you have many, many more years ahead of you. And good job for prepping with your mom or with your dad. I'm going to say mom. Thank you for allowing me to do that, White Clover. That's awesome. I love doing that. I Found Waldo is in the house. How you doing, I Found Waldo? Let me see. Okay, what is this real quick? I just need to check this. Okay. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we can talk about, but if you want to talk about something, go ahead and put it up all in caps and we can take it that way. But I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 things that we can actually talk about that's going on right now. Let me see. Chris Archer says that in Saskatchewan, in Canada right now, negative 38 Celsius. What is that? Let's go ahead and convert that to Fahrenheit. So you take negative 38, you multiply it times 1.8, and then you add 32. So it's about negative 36 degrees Fahrenheit in Saskatchewan, pretty close to negative 38. So it kind of converts. I think at negative 41 Celsius is the same as Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's pretty cold. To tell you the truth, we haven't even seen negative 38 here where I live. We've seen it out in town, but where I live is considerably warmer than it is in town. So we haven't even seen negative 38 here. I think the coldest that we've seen it here where I live, I think it's like negative 26 or negative 28 Fahrenheit. So yeah, so it's really, you know, it's really kind of like a surprise to us. It was a welcome surprise to know that. I didn't know that before we even bought the property. So let's see. Who else do we have in here? Everyone is saying happy birthday to White Clover's daughter. Wow, that's awesome. Let's see. McBean says it's like the movie The Day After Tomorrow. How you doing, Silent Silver? Good to see you. Have you all been seeing silver and gold, how it's gone up? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not a trader or anything like that. I know enough to get myself in trouble about trading, but I do believe that gold and silver, I believe that it's still going to go down. I believe that it's still going to go down. What I thought was going to happen with it didn't happen. I thought it was going to build a head and shoulders pattern and then go down. But being that the Federal Reserve is still doing a little bit of tightening, it hasn't gone down yet because the dollar is getting weaker as well. But I believe that there is going to come a time where gold and silver will go down considerably, like maybe to 1500, 1600. And I'm putting a little bit of dry powder to the side when that happens. And this is why I believe that. It has nothing to do with the charts. It's that I believe that our stock market is going to crash. I do believe it. I believe that our stock market is going to crash. And when you have people out there that are trading with margin, meaning that they borrowed money in order to buy the number of stocks or the number of shares of stocks that they purchased, that when the market crashes, that they're going to need to cover those margins, and usually they cover it with the most liquid money that there is, which is gold and silver. So I believe that it's going to go down. I'm not sure if it'll go down, like in the next month, but I'm thinking that by like May or June of next year, probably May, it'll go down considerably because let me see, all of the companies around May of next year, when they have their earnings report, we are going to see in black and white that there's a lot of layoffs, a lot of job losses, a lot of companies claiming bankruptcy, closing stores. All of this is going to happen next year. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs next year. That's why I said if you're a wage earner, try to find a side hustle where you can build an emergency fund that will get you through 6 months at least. And so that you can build up a little bit of extra cash on the side, also to take advantage of a deflationary period that we'll be having, but that won't happen until after the market crashes. All right. And then you can take advantage of lower prices on pretty much everything. Right. But I still believe it's going to happen. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm just saving a little bit of money on the side every month. And I'm still doing my dollar cost average. So on the first week of next year, so the first week of January, I will be going to the coin shop and doing my dollar cost average just like I do every month. I don't care what the price is. That's what dollar cost averaging is about. But I am saving a little bit on the side for when it finally crashes, because I still believe that we're going to have an epic market crash. And when that happens, there's going to be a period of time where things are going to be on sale. All right. Things will be on sale. And if we take advantage of that, then we can profit from that. And some people may say, well, you're going to profit from what other people have lost. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what I always say to counter that, because some people get angry about that. They're like, oh my goodness, you're going to profit when the market crashes. What about all the people that lost everything? Would you rather people that are, I consider myself a good-hearted person that is a patriot, that loves his country and that loves people. Would you rather people that are good people, that love their country and that are patriots and want to help their community profit? Or would you rather all of these large corporations like BlackRock or Vanguard or JP Morgan, Chase, or Goldman Sachs, would you rather them buy everything? No, just like earlier this live stream, I was saying that yes, we need good people in the military. We need good people in law enforcement. Same thing. We need good people that when we shift over to this new paradigm, we need people to be able to take over from the thieves that we have now. I'm not saying that's going to be me. Definitely not. But I can at least be here in part for my community once I know that my family's taken care of. Right. So if you have the means, not a financial advisor, but what I'm doing is I'm just keeping a little bit of dry powder on the side. And believe it or not, I'm keeping it in the bank until I figure out when it's time to take it out. Right. Because, well, I don't keep it in the bank. I keep it in a credit union. I think that a credit union is much safer than a bank. But of course, always keep a little bit of cash where you can get to it easily, just in case the ATMs go down and things like that happen. But yes, I believe that gold and silver are going to be going back down here in sometime next year. Tonette, how you doing? Hello, Tonette. Good to see you. Shy Moment, hello. How are you? G. Lauro, how are you doing? Linda Bob, I had nothing to do with it, but you're welcome to have it. You're welcome to have all this cold air, Linda. Give you a little bit of a taste. A lot of you all say, man, I wish I can go to Alaska. Well, now you don't have to come to Alaska. Now you can experience it down in the lower 48. And actually, you're experiencing it in a much worse way than what I'm experiencing it this year or this winter. Oh, goodness. How you doing, Tom Larson? Good to see you. Let's see. Oh my goodness, time is flying. All right, I'm going to work my way down. All right, if I don't see any questions or anything, then we'll go ahead and talk about something that I've got lined up here. Hey, Hobbit, how you doing? Pinch Runner. Let me see. Pinch Runner says, keep your copper underground pipes from freezing in Florida. Open the tap on the sink furthest from the water input to your home and let it drip. Yes, very, very good advice, by the way. Good advice. It's in the low 50s in Massachusetts. Well, it looks like it might be getting a little colder. Let's see. Let me get this thing off right here. Let's see what it's gonna. Oh yeah, it's coming your way. It's coming your way. That thing is gonna move right through the East Coast. Yeah, I believe so. We will see. As long as you're prepared, you're good to go. It's just a little bit of an inconvenience, right? Let me see. Hey, we still have power. I'm pretty surprised that we still have power. Yeah. All right, bringing it down, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just looking for anyone that might have a question. Look at this. My buddies. Hey, Rudy, which contingency bag is the best? Please, we are going to order one. Lori, it's the one that I have here. Let me show you it. It's the one that says plus. Is this one, but it says plus. All right, it's the biggest one. All right, that one, in my opinion, is the best because you get a lot of bang for your buck with that one. But ladies and gentlemen, Lori and my buddy, all right, they're my good friends that they PCS from Alaska to New York. And Lori already told her husband that as soon as they retire, that they're going to move up here to Alaska. Florida man, how you doing? Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Broward person, how you doing? Broward, you must be. Are you from Florida, Broward person? Broward County, Florida. But good to see you, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat, Broward person. Snafu El Marco, how are you doing? B. Walker, yes, I did. I got a whole bunch of Christmas cards, I think yesterday, from the post office. Haven't opened any of them. All right. And I'll bring them in during our next live stream, which won't be till probably next Friday or so. But I gotten a whole bunch, and I actually got a really nice gift from someone out there that did not send me a name or anything like that. But I'll be showing that off during our next live stream. Absolutely. How you doing, Pamela Gasper? Good to see you. Tomorrow is Pamela's birthday. Oh my goodness, how many birthdays do we have? Well, Pamela, ahead of time, happy birthday to you tomorrow. And of course, you all know that if tomorrow is Pamela's birthday, it's going to be a good day. And may the good Lord bless you with many more, Pamela. Thank you for letting us know that, and happy birthday to you. That is awesome. Birthdays are great, ladies and gentlemen. Birthdays are great. Absolutely, Becca. Hands down, the regular people should profit. But the thing is that if you're a regular person, you're not going to profit. All right. Don't be regular. Don't be average. Right. Do things that people who are wealthy do, even if you do them at a micro level. Do things that wealthy people do. That way you yourself can become wealthy. Trust me, I'm not wealthy when it comes to assets or money or anything like that. I'm not wealthy. I am wealthy because I have my health. I have my family. Thank God that I was able to become debt-free several years ago. So I'm wealthy in that prospect to where I believe that I am now living my best life. So if you can look at yourself in the face one day and say, yes, I'm living my best life, right, then you are wealthy. But in order to be able to use money, and money is nothing but a tool, ladies and gentlemen, money is nothing but a tool that you can use to sustain your standard of living. And when you maintain that standard of living that you have, you can use whatever excess money or wealth you have if you want to help others. So money is a tool. But if you are average, just like everyone else, if you do the same thing that everyone else does, that's the average person in the United States of America that's living paycheck to paycheck, guess what? You're going to be living paycheck to paycheck. That's why I promote having wealth preserving, tools, I like to call them, like precious metals. Now, the reason I don't promote it, I advocate it. I advocate that. So that's why I always say, do your research, look at history, look at how many fiat currencies have failed throughout humanity, throughout the time that they first started back in, I believe it was the year 1060 AD. The Chinese started fiat currencies. That was the first time that fiat currencies were ever used. Was China invented fiat currencies back in 1060. Every single fiat currency that's existed since then has always gone to zero. Why? Because people that are in power like to take advantage of fiat currency in order to control the population. Just look at what's happening worldwide. Worldwide, we have fiat currencies, and I would say every single government that exists is fiat currency backed, right? They use fiat currencies. Why? Because with fiat currencies, they can control the people. Believe it or not, they can. They can control their nation's people. With real money, it is you. It is we, the people, that have the control over government. And look at what's happened since 1971 when they took us off of the gold standard. And it'd be even better example. Look at what happened back in 1873, the Great Theft of 1873, when they demonetized silver. Why did they demonetize silver in 1873? Why? Because it was the people's money. It's what people used on an everyday basis. The average person couldn't afford gold, so they used silver to trade with directly. It was the money of the time. And they demonetized it to where it took away a lot of the actual nominal value from it. And then look at what happened in 1933 when they took the gold and then started us towards a fiat currency, although we still had a gold-backed currency between 1933 and I believe in 1971, we still had a gold-backed currency, but that was the beginning. That was the beginning when they introduced taking the actual physical metal out of people's hands. All right, people forgot what it was like to hold real money, so they just held paper. And now look at where we're at now. Look at how much control the government has over the people now, not just here in the U.S., but all over the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a government needs to have a foundation of morals, meaning that they follow the rule of law, and a foundation of real money, meaning that they can't create money or what they call money out of thin air, because there's no such thing. Nobody can make something out of nothing. And when the government creates money out of nothing, it's not out of nothing. It's out of your labor that is being stolen in order for it to add value to that money that they just created. So like I said, don't be like everyone else. Think of ways that you can better yourself. If you have to work 3 jobs, I would if I had to, and I have in the past. I'll work 3 jobs if I have to. I'll do whatever I have to do in order to be able to get ahead. Because when we go into this new system that they're going to push on us, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be good. And only those that are prepared will be able to resist. And those that are prepared financially as well, when we switch over to this new paradigm, once the people finally have had enough of this new system that they're going to impose on us, which in my opinion is a CBDC, a centrally backed digital currency. Once the people have had enough because they find out that, hey, this CBDC is nothing but a worse system than what we had before. And we are completely enslaved, where governments can tell us what to do, when to do it, where to do it, how much of it we can do. When the people finally wake up, that system will go down. It will go down. I think it'll be a lot faster than this last system that we're ending right now. It'll be a lot faster. But what's going to come after that? That's what we have to ask ourselves. What are we going to do after that? So we have to do the things that the average person does not do, so that we can do a lot better next time, because the next time is going to be coming. I think sooner than later. Hello, Andy S. Good to see you. Let's see. I'm bringing it down because I know I talked a lot there for a minute. Excuse me. Let's see. Bringing it down. Arctic Maggie says, "Hey AP, it's windy in North Pole too. I have the generator ready, prepped, and ready for anything." Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Arctic Magpie. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, you know what? It's not windy anymore. I'm looking outside. We still have power, and it's not windy. So maybe they took care of whatever the problem was. From what I understand, my neighbor works down in Fairbanks, and he said that they had a transformer go down. So maybe that's fixed. And I'll tell you what, the crew that works for GVEA is the electric company that's up here that services this area. Their crews are awesome. That company is a great company. I mean, they do a great job. Look at this. Low blood pressure's anniversary is today, 22 years. Low blood pressure. Give your wife a big hug, from the Alaska prepper community for putting up with you for so many years. Excuse me. Just kidding. Hey, congratulations, low blood pressure. That is awesome. Good for you. Let's see. Let's see. Donna Southwood. Hello, Donna, and thank you. Merry Christmas, Donna. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you as well. And many blessings to you and your family as well. Okay, let's bring it down some. Yarn Prepper, no, I cannot open a kit and show it because it's a prescription. So it's got all of my information and all of my wife's information. But if you want to know exactly what comes in the kit, you go on the website and it shows you everything that it comes with and how many treatments, right? When you see how many treatments you get and you compare it to other places, man, you just get so much more, right? And in my opinion, it's pretty much all the same medicine. I mean, it all comes from the same place, from China or India, pretty much, right? So yeah, it brings a lot, but you can go on the website for Contingency Medical and it tells you exactly what comes in each pack and how much of it. And it also brings a booklet that tells you what each specific medication is for. Like, I'm really happy that they have one in there for strep throat, right? They have one in there for strep throat. They have one in there for urinary tract infection, which is a huge deal. I know that men get it, but women get it a lot more often. And, during times that are like, let's say we had a grid down situation for a long time. Let's just say that for an example. One of the big things is sanitation. Right, so I think it's important to have that stuff, man. I'm so happy that they sell it, that you're able to get it. Wendell Walton, how you doing? That's right, Wendell. You know what? That's true. As long as you use it, Wendell says having a freeze dryer is like printing money, and that is true. As long as you use that thing and depend on what you freeze dry in it, it is like printing money, because you're saving a lot of money compared to what you pay for it from a third-party vendor. Absolutely. And you can make money with a freeze dryer as well. I mean, here at our farmer's market, somebody in town sells freeze-dried Skittles. Now, I know Skittles is poison, i.e. that's what I hear people say. It's terrible for you. But anyways, point being is that they take a little $1.50 bag of Skittles and they turn it into $8, and people buy that stuff. So yeah, you can definitely make money that way too. Let's see. Hello, Maida. How are you? I'm not sure if I said hello to you yet. Well, say hello to the hubby as well, Tonette. Oh, goodness. Hello, Lance. How are you? Good to see you. Hello, Kim Brown. Good to see you, and thank you, Kim. Vintage Rebel is here. How are you? Let's see. I'm bringing it down. Bringing it down, looking for any capital letters. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Black Woman in Music Festival. I sent you a gift via email, the best Christmas CD. Okay, thank you, Black Woman. Thank you for that. Actually, I think I've seen it on there, but I haven't really been looking at too many of my emails. I've been taking it easy from the emails. Once in a while, I'll catch one on my phone that pops up, and I'll look at it, and I may reply to it. But I've just been taking a little bit of a mental health break from the emails, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Sailing Prepper Dark Secrets. I actually saw the M&Ms the other day, and I was like, man, these things look brand new. Maybe I'll just wait a few more years. I think I've had those M&Ms in storage since like 2020 or 2019, and they still look like there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I just might wait a few years to review them. Thank you very much for the super chat as well, and Merry Christmas to you as well. Let's see. Okay. Hey, great question. Aloha J, great question. Which will win out, Swift or BRICS, and why? Well, if you were to ask me what system I think we are going to be going to here in the Western nations, you already see it. They're going to push a CBDC onto us, a central bank digital currency, which will have a lot more restrictions in it than anything that we've ever seen before in our lifetime and in the history of our nations, not just nation, but nations. That's how many restrictions they're going to put on it. I mean, they're going to put a carbon tax on that thing. They're going to put a social credit system on that CBDC. You're going to have to buy carbon credits if you want to buy that fifth steak for the month, let's say, or that third or fourth chicken. If you want to buy gasoline, you're only going to be able to buy so much for the month before you have to buy more carbon credits. It's going to be terrible. However, the BRICS, the system that they already have, they just haven't executed it yet in full force. Right now, they're doing more bilateral trading amongst the BRICS nations than they are in using the system that they have in place. They, in my opinion, they are going to have a gold-backed currency. And the reason for that is I put out a video, I think 2 days ago, about why they're going to have a gold-backed currency. If you take a look at the last several years, even going back a decade, a lot of the nations that are now part of the BRICS nations have been buying gold and adding it to their reserves for years and in quantity. This last year, as a matter of fact, more gold was purchased this last year by central banks than in the last 55 years, almost 60, right? And most of those countries that purchased that gold were countries that either belong to the BRICS nations or have applied to become part of the BRICS nations. So, in my opinion, the East, which constitutes of mostly the BRICS nations, they're going to have a gold-backed currency, which is going to have real value. Here in the West, we're going to have a CBDC that's going to have no value, no tangible value whatsoever. So what will happen is that when we trade, if we trade with the East, which pretty much almost all Western nations, what do we manufacture? I mean, Germany is dying. Germany used to be the manufacturing workhorse, of Europe, and it's dying because of the cost of energy. Manufacturing in Germany is also starting to shift to China again because they can't afford the energy. So who are we, talking about the West, who are we going to import from if we don't make anything, right? It's going to be from those people that do make stuff. And being that our currency really doesn't have any value except for the value that is perceived it to have, then the things that we therefore import from nations that have a backed currency, a gold-backed currency, is going to cost a lot of our fiat, because we will have to back our fiat by something, but we just don't manufacture as much as we used to, not nearly as much. So we have to bring manufacturing back. We have to take care of this fossil fuel war where they want to eliminate fossil fuel. Without energy, there is no economy. All right, that's just the plain fact. And if you think that we can make enough solar panels to power the entire earth, where are you going to get the resources to make those solar panels? All right, where are we going to get them? We don't mine them. Where do we get our lithium for batteries from? Right? Where do we get that stuff from? It's mainly from other countries outside of our borders. Right? And if we do make some of it and mine some of it, it's not enough. So we need stuff, and we don't manufacture stuff, and we don't have good money. And if they have good money, then that means that our money it's going to take a lot more of our money to buy the stuff that we need. So that's what I see happening, unfortunately. When I talk about these things, it's not because I want it to happen. It's just because what I see coming, because it's just basic mathematics, ladies and gentlemen. It's just basic mathematics, and take a look at history a little bit, and you'll see that where we're headed, if we continue to go down the same road, it's not to a good place. And that's why we have to be prepared, because the more broke that a government gets, the more tyrannical it becomes unto its people. Think about it. The more broke that a government gets, the less control it has. So therefore, it has to become more tyrannical. It has to become a lot more heavy-handed with the people. Because when the people can't eat, they get angry. When the people can't get medication, when they can't go to a doctor, they get angry. And angry people that are desperate, they do things that they normally would never have done. And that's where we're heading into. And I hope, I'll say it right here and right now, I hope 100% that I am wrong. I hope I am 100% wrong, and that tomorrow we have an armada of unicorns fly over all of our Western nations and just, fart rainbows, and that it all drops on us and everything will be all right. But guess what? Hope without preparedness is just hope. Maybe it will happen, but more than likely, the probabilities tell me that it won't. Let me see. Vini Queen says, I'm just going to say V. V asks, hey, P, do you purchase and mill wheat berries for flour? I have a whole bunch of wheat berries. I have milled it before and used it to make bread, right? So I have done it before, and I have it, and I have the equipment necessary, but I don't do it on a regular basis because I'm saving that for if I ever have to do it, especially since wheat berries last so very long. I mean, if you package wheat berries and store them properly, they'll probably outlive you. They'll probably outlive anyone here if you properly store them and properly package them. So I keep them for, they're in what I like to call my deep freeze or my deep storage, where I keep them for when that day comes where we just can't find any flour. But now I'm happy now just buying the flour as it is and putting it in my pantry bin that I rotate in and out. So I'm happy with that. But I do have that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, do not listen to low blood pressure, okay? I mean, you can listen to them if you like, all right? But I'm not advocating that you max out your credit cards to get silver, okay? Low blood pressure, man. You cracked me up. PJ, how you doing? Good to see you, PJ. Thank you, Amish Country Prepper. Yes, it's going to be Michael's first Christmas. And ladies and gentlemen, Michael's first Christmas, he's not even, he'll be 7 months old, right? No, he's almost 7 months old. You should see how much stuff this boy is getting for Christmas. I told my wife, I'm like, he's not even going to know that he's getting this stuff for Christmas. Good luck to the parents putting all that stuff away in their house, in their little tiny house that they have. Hey, how you doing, Forrest? I'm not sure if I said hello to you. All right, let's see. Man, this is really Aloha Jay. This is really an interesting question. How do you stay humble with all the gifts you receive? I mean, I learned it. I learned that here. I learned that from this community. And I think it was Jan, and this was years ago. It was very difficult for me to accept gifts. I rather give. I'm more of a giver. I really am. And it's difficult for me to accept them. But I remember, I think it was Jan who said this. I could be wrong. But I remember during a live stream a while back that I was getting super chats. And I kept telling people, no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Spend it on preps or whatever. And Jan told me that, no, it wasn't super chats. It was somebody sent me something. They sent me a gift. And I noticed how much it cost to ship it up here. And it was very expensive to ship this gift up here. And I think it probably cost more than what it actually was, right? Than what the gift was. And I think it was Jan that told me, they said that, listen, you have to be a good receiver in order to be a good giver. So in order to be a good giver, you have to learn to be a good receiver as well, because both of it is a blessing, right? And of course, you never expect anything in return when you give. And I never do. So anyways, I hope that answers your question. But I think another thing that has to do with that, with what you said, is that I know that you can't take it with you. So what are you going to do with all this stuff? I mean, look at this. Am I going to take all of this stuff with me? No. I mean, having it is awesome because it makes my life easier, right? And I love doing reviews of solar generators, ladies and gentlemen. I love doing it. Why? Because look at that. I just did a review the other day, and someone here in Fairbanks is going to get a solar generator. Billy Bob Thornton, who changed his name to Little Alaska Home Place, right? So he's going to get a solar generator. Actually, I think we're meeting up today, right? I was going to bring it to his wife's house the day after he won, but I was like, hey, you know what, man? I know where you live. I'll drop it off. And then I was like, you know what? Just wait till you get here, and I'll just give it to you when you get back from work. So we're going to meet up today and give it to him. But I mean, it's such a blessing to be able to do that. I would never be able to do that if I wasn't doing what I do now. And I just think that, people ought to realize as the sooner in life that that the things that you have are just things, and they're just here for you to use as tools to make your life easier, make your life better, your family's life better, and then other people's lives better, the better that you'll be off knowing that you can't take it with you. So if while you're in the here and the now, if you have what you consider excess, that is always good to give in order to try to help other people out. Because I'm not the kind of person that says, oh, you make $1 million, you should give away whatever it is that you make. And just, no, I'm not. If you work for it honestly and you earned it ethically and morally, it's yours to do what you want to do with. It's between you and your maker how you live your life. It's not between me. It's just how I live my life. All right. But yeah, that was an interesting question. Let me see. Jane R&R asks, best affordable freeze dryer. Do you cook food first, like spaghetti and dog food, etc.? You don't have to, but I do. I got a freeze dryer mainly to put away proteins, because I know that proteins are going to become extremely expensive in the years to come. So even though they're a bit expensive now, I'd rather put it away now in a form that's going to last 20, 30 years so that I can have it and continue to eat whatever I can buy at the store or get for myself now. And then if I ever need it, I'll have it. So if you use it, it's, you want to make sure that you use it. Don't just get it and hang your clothes off of it. But I rather cook my food first, because I think it defeats the purpose as to why you're freeze drying the foods. For example, let's say that right now we had a power outage and it was going to last a year, whatever it is. It's an SHTF. It's a real SHTF, right? So once we get to the point where we have to dip into our freeze-dried foods, being that it's a real SHTF, let's say, I don't want to be expending any fuel in cooking the food that I freeze-dried. I rather just have to expend a little bit of fuel to heat up water and put it in there, and it's good to go. I don't want to have to prepare it and use all that energy to prepare it when I can do it now while the energy is available. Right? I hope I answered that in a way that you understood it. Sesquana Homestead, how are you doing? Merry Christmas to you. How you doing, Jonathan? Jonathan Sebastian, how are you? Good to see you. Jonathan, that's the name of the game, Jonathan. Jonathan says they are trying to separate us so we don't focus on what's to come. That is the name of the game. I mean, let me go ahead and share this. Let me go ahead and share this screen with you. Let me see. Where's it at? Where is it? I'm looking for it. Oh, maybe I don't have it. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to share the screen with you. This has everything to do with what you're talking about. Let me go ahead and get that out of there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Where in the, there it is. Hot doggity. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the Foxtrot Bravo India says, listen to this. They're telling you. They are telling you. All right? They're not hiding this anymore. They are telling you, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that may not be awake, wake up, because they're telling you right here. The Foxtrot Bravo in India, they say that censorship is routine. That censorship is routine. Why in the world is a governmental organization censoring anyone. They are telling us exactly what they're doing. They're not hiding any of this anymore. All right. So it's like I've often said, for those people out there that believe that the government is going to come to their rescue when they need them the most, man, you really need to wake up and prep up. Because what that story tells me, the one that I just showed you, it tells me that they are telling it to your face now. They don't care whether you know. You know, it's one of the reasons why well, I talk to my brother a lot, and he's always trying to use code words, and I'm like, well, you know, I obviously we have to use some of those here so they won't deplatform us. But when I talk to him on the phone, I'm like, don't worry about them. They already know everything about you. Any governmental organization, you know, like those 3-digit organizations, they already know everything about you. And if they want to know something about you because they don't, they can find out in a hurry like that. There is no such thing as privacy. You may want to think that there is, but there's not. You know, and right now they're pretty much telling you that there is none. There is no such thing. What's the name of that guy? Edward, and then it started with his last name started with Snow. Remember that guy? Whatever happened to that? Who went to jail over that? Who got fired over that? Absolutely nobody. Why? Because they already know that we know, and they don't care. They don't care that they're breaking the law. They don't care that they are breaking the Fourth Amendment by searching through everyone's papers, right? Those are one of the things that we're supposed to be guaranteed to be able to not have to share our papers. And today, our papers are also our digital footprint, our emails. But they see all that stuff. Don't fool yourselves. And then they use that information that they gather from us, the plebes, the serfs. They use that information in order to divide us. Why do you think our nation is so divided? Because they already know what words to use. They know what kind of shows to put in front of kids in order to divide the nation. It has nothing to do with good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why I say that there is no fixing this system. It is the system that is broken. There is no president that you can put up there. It doesn't matter who it is. There's no president that you can put up there that's going to fix the system. The system is what is broken. And until the system crashes and we get a new system that is more just, or that is just, that follows the rule of law to include using real money, then we're going to continue to have the things that we're having now. And that is why we prepare, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly why we prepare. Because all we have to do is look a little bit. Just look a little bit. And you'll know that nobody's coming to your rescue. No one is. They don't care about you now. What makes you think that they're going to care about you when you need resources that they can keep for themselves? Boone, that is a great message. Yes, to anyone that lives in an area where you're not used to the weather that you're getting now, it's better not to take any chances. I still stand by that there's going to be fatalities. I'm not sure if there have been already, but there will be. Because this is a crazy, crazy storm that we're having. Let's see. Let's bring it on down. Oh, hey, Knee Deep and Crazy. Thank you very much for becoming a member of the Ladies and Gentlemen's Club. And look at that. That's 10 minutes ago. So thank you very much, Knee Deep. Let's see. Was that you, Yarn Prepper? Okay, I knew it was one of you ladies. Let's see. Let's go down some. Okay, I'm just bringing it down. The cute one. Thank you very much. You're going to make me blush. And you know, talking about freeze dryers, for those of you that are thinking about getting one, if you go back to one of my previous freeze drying videos, I did the math with you all. And at today's beef prices that you get at the store and the price of beef that's being sold freeze dried by a third party, it only takes about between 13 and 15 cycles where you freeze dry. Let me see how many pounds. I think it was like 13 pounds. So if you freeze dry the equivalent of 13 regular pounds before it's freeze dried, if you freeze dry 13 regular pounds of beef, and you do that like 13 to 15 times, the money that you save between what it costs you to buy the beef and freeze dry it and what it would have cost you to buy the equivalent amount of beef already freeze dried from a third party, it's enough to pay for your freeze dryer within like 13 to 15 cycles. So I mean, it's a win-win situation. You know, my freeze dryer has already paid for itself more than once, and I continue to freeze dry mainly beef and chicken and a little bit of pork, but mainly beef and chicken is what I freeze dry in there. Absolutely, Linda. Linda asked, to can turkey, is it better to cook it first or can it raw and cut off the bones? I would rather, for turkey, what I do is I take the whole turkey, I take the entire turkey and I put it in my pressure canner. And I don't pressure it, you know, I don't pressure cook it, but my pressure canner is big enough to accept the whole turkey. So I put it in there, I put a little bit of broth in there in the bottom, and then I cook it nice and slow for several hours. And then when I take it out of there, the bones come right off. And then I separate the skin and stuff, whatever bones I separated out, just leave the meat. And then I go ahead and hot pack the meat in the jars. And then I use the broth to top them off before I pressure can them. And I've got some of those that I pressure can years ago, and they're just fine. I mean, they taste just like they're supposed to taste. All right, bringing it on down some. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Wow, we're at an hour and a half. We're going to do a marathon today, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Rosemary. How are you? Rosemary says, it's been snowing all day. The storm of the century is hitting now in Michigan. I live right on Lake Huron. And if we get oh my goodness, yes, you're going to get a lot of snow if you live right off the lake. All that cold air sucking that moisture up from the lake. Man. The Flying Dutchman says it's negative 22. Let me see. Negative 37 with 33-mile-an-hour wind in western Minnesota. Hot dog. You want me to tell you all a funny story? So the CEO of Contingency Medical, I was talking to him, well, I don't know, about a week ago or so, and then we started talking about preparedness. And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't have a generator? And he's like, no. And I'm like, why in the world don't you have a generator? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's got a generator. He's picking it up, I think he said, a generator. And then today I was talking to him when he called me to tell me that the site was back up. And I was like, do you have a water filtration system? He's like, no. I'm like, you need to watch this video and get yourself a water filtration system. So next time I talk to him, and you know, we spent like 15 minutes talking about why he needs to have a water filtration system, right? So we're turning him into a prepper little by little. And you know what the great thing is? Let me tell you this. So I'm talking to him today. And he says, you know what? Me and the people that I work with, we started talking about that after I had a conversation with you about the generator. And we spent about 15, 20 minutes talking about why it's a good idea to have them. So he's taking the discussions that I'm having with him and he's sharing it with other people. And they're finding interest in getting prepared. So ladies and gentlemen, it all starts with a seed. You plant a seed and then you work it. And I think it's a great thing. I'm hoping that here within the next few months, we've got him good on energy. We've got him good on food, water. You know, he's good on electricity with the generator, and he does have a solar backup as well, and water. And obviously, he's good on medicine, right? So I'm hoping that we turn him into a full-blown prepper. Let me see. Amazing Grandma says it is 32 degrees below zero in northern Wisconsin. Man, you guys are getting hit good. You guys are getting hit really good. Hunter Moon, how are you? What do you think the first resistance in 2023 will look like from our communities? Being prepared is resistance in itself, Hunter Moon. All right. Let me give you a great example of how just being prepared is great resistance. So go back 2.5 years, right? Let me ask you, if every single family in the United States had a 6 month emergency fund. I know it's easier said than done, right? But let's just play hypotheticals here. Let's say that 2.5 years, 2 years and 9 months ago, something like that, every family in the US had a 6 month emergency fund. They had a year supply of food in their pantry. They had all of the backups that they needed for everything. All right. How many of those people that were coerced into doing something that they did not want to do to their bodies, how many of those people would have been able to say, no, thanks, no, thanks, I'm just going to go and look for another job. If I have to, I'll move because I've got everything I need. I have everything I need. I'll go ahead and collect unemployment, which will supplement the money that I have in an emergency fund as it is. And you can say no. You can exercise, like Bear Independent likes to say, you can exercise your no muscle. Why? Because you know that you're going to be all right. And you don't have to do what they're telling you to do. We have a community member here. I forgot what her name was, but I believe she was in New York. And she said, I'm losing my job on the 4th of January of this year. So almost a year ago. She said, I just found out I'm losing my job on the 4th of January because they want me to do something that I'm not going to do. And that's okay, though, because I have enough preps and I have enough put away where I can last several months while I find another job. Being prepared is one of the best ways to be able to resist tyranny, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. I truly believe that. Black woman asks, how do you remove lids from canning jars without damaging the lids? If you use like a regular, man, these are old school also, like a bottle opener, like a bottle opener that's got that little lip that you can push up. Those usually work pretty well. Okay. It doesn't bother me to put a little ding on the lids that I use when I open them, because I usually save those for whenever I'm doing dry canning. So if I'm doing dry canning, I'll use those instead of using a new lid, and I reserve my brand new lids for when I do pressure canning. Okay, let's see. Hello, Christine. Who's your pioneer? Maybe I'll work on that. I'm terrible at that. I am terrible at doing, playlists and all that kind of stuff. But maybe I'll work on that one of these days when I'm bored. I actually have. Let me see. I've got one solar generator review that I'm going to do, but I'm going to wait till after Christmas, or maybe even till next year to do it. And then I've got another one that's supposed to be getting here for me to do. So I've got a couple of them that I have to do. One of them was given away during our Christmas Bash giveaway. But I do have a few that I'm working on to do that I still have to receive. So we'll just see what happens. We'll take it as it comes. Hello, Linda, and thank you, Linda. That's very nice of you. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Let's see. Let's bring this down some. What do we have? Hello, Crystal. Crystal Carpenter, good to see you. Jeff Riffle is in the house. Merry Christmas. Paladin Prepper, how you doing? Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Chance Paladin. Okay, I will probably be going to the post office today if they're open today. So thank you. Thank you for that, Chance Paladin. And Merry Christmas to you. Let's see. M Dog, how you doing? Good to see you, M Dog. Welcome. The Redneck Prepper is in the house. What's up, Redneck Prepper? Good to see you, brother. How you doing, Aunt B? Winter Soldier is here. Good to see you. I am caught up. I'm caught up. Crystal says, you are caught up for a change. I am. Let me see. Who am I looking for here? Okay. Well, let's take a look at this one right here. Let me see what this one's about. Let me see what this is about real quick. Oh, here we go. Well, this goes hand in hand. Let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. Forrest asked, do you think EcoFlow solar generators are any good? Yes, they are. A minor problem that I have with them, like the EcoFlow that I have, the 1300 that I have, it doesn't have a lithium iron phosphate battery, which means that the battery is not going to give you as much life as one with a lithium iron phosphate, right? And it's why I love the Opus, right? It's why I love the Opus. And for those of you that don't know, I am affiliated with Opus, but I love this brand. I think they're a very good quality brand. As a matter of fact, you don't see one of mine here. I've got an 1800 as well. And the reason that I have it is because I'm using it as a backup for this computer right now, just in case we lose power again, that nothing's going to happen with the power to this computer, so we don't lose connection. But I think it's a great quality solar generator. It's got a great battery. I think that it's got this one right here, the Beast. I call this the Beast, the 2400. That thing can power pretty much any appliance in your household, with the exception of like a clothes dryer, right? The EcoFlow, I'm actually using an EcoFlow right now. I'm using the 1300 right now inside my house for my refrigerator, right? Because it's got a UPS function, which OPS is coming out with a UPS function on their next one. I'm pretty sure of it. I can't guarantee that though. But the EcoFlow, I'm using it right now inside the house to power my refrigerator, the 1300. But I think that nowadays, with all of the competition that there is out there with solar generators, I think that a LiFePO 4 battery should be a minimum. There should be no other battery that's lesser than a LiFePO 4, because there's so much competition. Unless you're building one that doesn't have a LiFePO 4 battery, but you're selling it at a very discounted rate, right? But other than that, the EcoFlow, it's the one that I have, is it failed me once, but it was user error. All right, it was user error. It's done its job. It's done what it's supposed to do, what it says that it will do. However, I would rather just get something that I know is going to last a much longer time as far as the battery goes. Okay, but it's a good unit. If you get it at a good price, it's a good unit. Thank you, our health. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, our health. Our Heath. Thank you, our Heath. Merry Christmas to you. You're very generous. Thank you for that. Okay, let's bring it down. Let's see. Maria N said, did you switch from Blue Eddy? I still have my Blue Eddy, and I still like my Blue Eddy. It's a good solar generator. But the thing with Blue Eddy that I found is and Blue Eddy's trying to send me a solar generator to review, but they haven't figured out how to ship it to me yet. So when they do, I will review it. I like simplicity. All right. So, and I'm talking about Blue Eddy here. So Blue Eddy, I think they're the EB 2400 is the one that I have, the 2,400 watt hour one that I have of the Blue Eddy. It's a great solar generator. It's plain. It's only got 3 buttons, right? It comes with a good battery, right? And it's simple to use. Well, now they're shifting over to solar generators where you need to have an application, where it doesn't have any buttons. It's just push screen. And I like simplicity. I like buttons. I like that when the power goes out, I can plug something into my solar generator, just push a button or two, and it's working. I don't want to have to go onto a screen and push all that stuff. and learn it, because I don't want to have to learn more stuff than what I already know. You know what I mean? So with buttons, I love buttons. And I also find that when you only have like a touch screen, that's like one point of failure. Meaning that if that touch screen gets cracked, or if someone breaks it, or if it just doesn't work, then that's it. You're done. You're not going to use it. I find that with buttons, you have a lot more availability to be able to use that for a longer time, and a lot more points of failure than just one. I hope that makes sense. I just like simplicity, and I like to be able to touch something and use it when I need to, instead of having to figure it out. However, if they do send me one, I'll try to figure it out. I might be 100% wrong. The touch screen might be the best thing that ever came out since sliced bread, right? But I do still like the Blue Eddy 2400 EB. I think this is a good solar generator. Comparing it to the 2400 OPS, I have to say that the OPS is above. And let me tell you why. Because the EB 2400 only has 1000 watts continuous, right? So you got 1000 watts continuous, whereas the OPS 2400 has 2400 watts continuous, right? The EB 2400, you can only input 500 watts. I believe it's 500 or 600. I think it's 500 watts of solar into the Blue Eddy EB 2400. Whereas to the OPS, you can input 960 watts of solar, right? The Blue Eddy, you can input, I think it's like 300 or 400 watts from the AC from a wall outlet. Whereas in the Blue Eddy, it's the same thing, about 400 watts. So when I compare them side by side, it's this one here offers so much more than that model, even though that model is a little simpler than this one. Just a little bit simpler, not that much more. For the money, I would rather get this one, even though this one has about 100 watt hours less than that Blue Eddy. I'd rather get this one because you can just do so much more with it. And the input is so much nicer to have that almost 1000 watts of input to go into it, especially with solar. I think that's a great thing. All right. I know that was a long answer. Oh, are they really? OPS is supposed to have their new one complete and out in February of 2023. I better contact my representative over there, because I'm one of the people. I don't know how many people they asked, but I send them a lot of input on what I wanted to see in the new one that they come out with. I send them a lot of input, and we actually went back and forth talking about why I asked him to do. Like, one of the things I asked him to do was like, hey, put a UPS function on that. Put a UPS function on that so that you can charge that thing from the wall in an hour and a half, instead of it taking you 4 hours or 5 hours to charge it. Another thing that I told him is give it the ability that you can actually add external batteries to it. That way you can add on as time goes by, and you can have one centralized solar generating unit in your home that can pretty much power everything, because you have a lot of power backed up, and you can modularize it by buying one extra battery every 3 months or every 6 months or every year, whatever it is. You can do it little by little, instead of having to buy one of these big systems that's like 5,000-6,000 watt hours, but it comes in one system and they want $6,000 for it, right? So I gave them a lot of input, and it's going to be interesting to see how much of my input they actually used. Oh, trust me, Crystal Carpenter, the bank is broken. The bank is broken. And on top of that, I have to go into town today, if they have power, to pay my tax bill for my property. So the bank is definitely broken. I'm actually delinquent on my taxes right now because they said that they've sent me notices, but I haven't received anything from the borough this year. And I honestly thought that I had paid it in the beginning of the year, but I checked into it. I never paid it. I usually pay my property taxes like in January and February when they let me know. As soon as they let me know how much I owe for that year, I pay it. But I don't remember receiving anything at all this year, and I just didn't think about it. So I have to go over there to pay them. I mean, I'm not in any threat of losing anything because I think it's 3 years of delinquencies that you need before they start, repossessing your property. And this is the first time that I've ever been late on a tax payment. I just don't remember receiving any notices. but I'm definitely going to be going down there today and pay. I'm going to see if I can pay a year in advance. That way I'm always 1 year in advance. That way, if something happens that's out of my control, it'll be paid for a year extra. All right, Rosemarie, that is what I'm talking about. I am all set for the blizzard of the century. For the past 2 years, awesome, thank you. And I have everything that we need. Sleeping bags, good for down to 10 below zero. That's great. Now, that is what I like to hear, ladies and gentlemen. That is awesome. Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, yes, if you go to 4Jars, I'm not affiliated with 4Jars, but I love their company. I think that their people are awesome. And they've actually offered me an affiliateship a couple of times. And I was like, listen, I want you to keep all of the profits for yourself because you guys are such an awesome company. I love those guys. But their lids are great lids. And if you use that code Alaska10, you get 10% off. And the price on their lids is a very, very good price, in my opinion. I think they have a very competitive price on their lids. And I have used them before and they work just fine for me. No, I would not purchase another Goal Zero generator because they don't come with a lithium phosphate iron battery or a lithium iron phosphate battery. Costco is selling a Yeti Goal Zero 3000, I think. It's a 3,000 watt hour Yeti, but the darn thing does not come with a great battery. I'm not saying that the battery it comes with, just a lithium ion, is not a good battery, but I'm not going to pay $3,000 for a 3,000 watt hour solar generator that comes with a battery that has a life cycle of about 1,500 cycles. I'm not going to do that. I mean, look at this Opus right here. This Opus is 2,332 watt hours. It's only 700 watt hours less than that Goal Zero that they have on sale at Costco. 700 watt hours less for less than half the price. So that means that you can get two of these guys, two of them, for about the same price that you would buy that Yeti and get almost 5,000 watt hours instead of 3. Yeah, I absolutely would not buy it again. And the Goal Zero was one of my very first, if not my very first solar generator. Yeah, because I got a Goal Zero Yeti 1100, very first solar generator I ever purchased. And then I purchased a Duracell solar generator. And then everything else that I have, I pretty much got because I reviewed them. But that Goal Zero, it's done a great job. I can't say it hasn't. It's done a great job. And that Goal Zero comes with a lithium ion battery, right? But it's a lithium ion battery. And like I said, with all of the competition that there is now, why would you pay so much more for something that's going to give you about half of the life expectancy than something that has a LiPo4 battery? So not saying anything bad about Yeti. I'm actually using my Yeti right now, or I was before the power came back on, actually using it. But like I said, why would you buy something that you can get almost twice as much of something else that's better quality for the same price? So that's what I have to say about the Goal Zero. And that's not throwing them under the bus. I really like Goal Zero. They're like one of the first companies that broke into the solar generator market. But they do have to change with the times. You know, they do have to advance with the times, just like everyone else. Oh, yeah. And Energy 1500, I wish I can review that. I can actually purchase one of those Energy 1500s and they'll ship it to me, but I won't do it. The reason I won't do it is because since they have to ship it to Alaska, it voids my warranty. So if something ever went wrong with it where I had to ship it back to them, they would not take care of the shipping. I'm like, I'm not paying all that money for that thing so that I don't have a warranty for it. So that's the only reason I won't buy that thing. Linda, hello, Linda. AP, when you said pumpkin was going to be in short supply, I stocked up on pumpkin for under $1 a can. And now it's $3 to $5. Incredible. Same thing with olives, nuts, pasta. Awesome. That is, I really like to hear that kind of stuff. I like to hear that because it's like I tell you all, I try to provide you all with actionable intelligence. All right. Which means that I'm saying, just like what Linda said, that's actionable intelligence. When I was talking about it, it wasn't necessarily happening, but eventually it did, and whoever took heed to the warning actually, was able to stock up on the cheap compared to what you would pay for it now. Let's see. Oh no, yeah, Michael's gonna have an awesome Christmas. Well, I think we're gonna have a better Christmas than him, right? Because he's really not gonna be knowing exactly what he's doing, but we're gonna have a great Christmas with him. And he's actually starting to get into things now. His grandmother, not my wife, but his grandmother on my daughter-in-law's side, she took a picture of him. He crawled up to its suitcase, stood up on his own, and started opening the suitcase. And she took a picture of him as he was looking at her while she was asking him, "What are you doing?" Hey, Derek, what's up, brother? Merry Christmas, Derek. How you doing? Blessings to you as well, my friend. How's Amber doing? I hope that Amber, if you're listening, Merry Christmas. Let us know how you're doing. Good to see you, man. Really good to see you. Emmanuel Bravo. Yes, that little flex heater. I actually think that a little buddy would be a lot better than the flex heater that I used on that video, because you can actually hook up a 20-pound cylinder to a little buddy, and you cannot hook up a 20-pound cylinder to that little flex heater, right? So I might just go get a little buddy at Costco because they're at a good price. They're like $80 at Costco, and you get the hose for the propane cylinder, and you also get a filter for the propane. So I might go pick one of those up just to put it in cold storage or in deep storage. Well, Margaret Melendez, let me see. The 1200 is that one right there. The 1200 for the price, I think it's a great deal. I think right now, what is the code that I have is I forget the code. The code that I have, I think it's Alaska Prepper 10. The code that I have for the Opus, it gives you no, it's 15% off. Yeah, take a look at my code under my last video, not this live stream because it's got the old code. If you're looking to get the 992 watt hour, the 1200, that guy right there, that's almost 1,000 watt hours. And if you use my code, you get 15% off. I think it comes out to like $600 even, or $595, something like that. But I think that's a great deal, man. $595 or $600 for 1,000 watt hours. That's a good deal. That's a great deal. And the quality of all of these is pretty much the same. They're all pretty good quality. I mean, it's good construction. I don't really have too many bad things to say about that thing. Yeah, I think it's a great deal. What I would do is, if I was in the market for a solar generator, what I would do is I would try to save up for the best one that I could get. So instead of saving up $340 and getting this one just because I want to get one right now, I would rather save up an extra couple $100 and get this one, if that's what you can afford. That's what I would do. I would try to save up to get the best one that I can get. That way you can have one that will power the things that you actually need instead of just a few things. Tigger69, how you doing? Good to see you. Well, Tigger69 asks, is the solar generators behind you the best to purchase? Let me go ahead and answer that question. If you're not looking for a whole house generator, then yes, I think these are great. The 2400 will pretty much power everything in your house except for like a big water heater or a clothes dryer. But if you're looking for like a whole house solar generator system like City Prepping has, I think he has one that does his entire house, then you're looking at something different. But for this category of solar generators, this is what I really like, right? Not just because they send it to me, because it actually does what it says it's supposed to do. And it's pretty reliable in my opinion. And the price, I think the price is a really good price for that range of solar generator. But then again, like I said, if you're looking for something that's going to power your whole house at the same time, where you're going to want 10,000 watts coming out of it at the same time, then obviously no. So it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for an entry to mid-range solar generator, then yes. But if you're looking for something that's really big, then no, because it's not for that. Oh, good. Good to hear, Derek. Amber is doing good. Awesome. What time? Wow, we're almost 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and break our record and go for 2.5 hours. I think that our longest live stream was about 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. Chris says City Prepper has the EcoFlow new smart panel and 3 large EcoFlows together. Yeah, I mean, companies want to send me that stuff, but they can't figure out the shipping. But yeah, but something like that, Chris, like what you said, something big like that can pretty much power your house. You see, so it's like it's at a different level, a different level solar generator. And that's what I think that OPS is working on. But I think that they're going to make it into a modular system where they can ship it to other parts of the country, like Alaska, Hawaii, and things like that. They can still ship a system just with different boxes. All right, because a lot of the problems that companies have with shipping solar generators is the size of the battery. So I think they're going to make it into a modular system where they can ship, let's say, the main unit in one box and batteries and stuff in other boxes, which I'm glad that they're doing that. Yeah, Tyler, one of the best foods to stock for long term is pasta. I think pasta is a great thing to stock for long term. Let me see, Sandra. I don't know what you're talking about, Sandra, as far as any recommendations. Yeah, Sandra, I can't find what you're asking. Any recommendations on what? Go ahead and ask me any recommendations on what. Yeah, I like Neil Ward McCoy. No, Neil McCoy Ward, I believe is his name. Neil McCoy Ward. He's one of my everyday guys. Whenever he has a video pop up, I always watch it. That guy is a real smart guy. Let me see. He says, let me see. Informed on that location of the world. Seems Dutch farmers are being forced off their land in the Netherlands so elites can build a modern Atlantis. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take time for people to realize that they have no chance but to stand up and fight. That's the way it's always been. Usually evil will continue to do what they can do as long as they get away with it. And usually good will wait and wait and wait until they can't take no more, and then they will fight back. And that's the way it's pretty much always occurred. And that's the way it's going to be this time, in my opinion. Sandra, I don't have a working wood stove where I use it every single day. I have what I like to call my apocalypse wood stove, which is something that I can insert through a window to heat my home in the worst of situations. So I can't really tell you which one I would recommend. Go check out Billy and Dee at Frontier Preppers. They have a couple of working wood stoves that are very nice. They put out very nice heat and they're very efficient. Okay, Lori, have a great day and thank you for joining in today. Let's see. Lucy says, AP, make it 3 hours. I just got here. Well, Lucy, I actually have to do some errands today, but we'll see how it goes. Where are we at? We're at 2 hours even. Man, that I'm so glad that you're prepared too, Nanny. That's good. I mean, it's not good that your central heater went out, but it's good that you're prepped. It makes all the difference in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Surviving Behind Liberal Lines says, make the live stream 6 hours today. I don't think that my butt can take it. Sitting down for 6 hours straight. Oh, goodness. Hello, Michelle Diaz. Good to see you. Lucy, how are you? Jeff Riffle, I don't think I can handle it, man. Oh man. Let me see. I think my coffee is still warm too. Yeah, it is. It's still warm because I got the lid on it today. Holy smokes, that is a great deal, Crystal. $2 a pound. Man, I would have been making a couple of trips in there for $2 a pound. Man, the days of cheap butter here in Costco is over. You know, the days where we can get a 4 pound block of butter for like less than $8, those days are over. So I mean, I still fill in the gaps, but man, it's so hard to fill in the gaps with butter at twice of what I used to pay for it. All right, let's see. Let's bring it down some. Man, I don't know what you mean, Jason. Can you use indoors? If you go ahead and ask me that question of what it is that you can use indoors, I'll see if I can answer it. Claudine Prosser, hello and Merry Christmas, Claudine. Good to see you. God's Blade 300. Many blessings to you as well, God's Blade, and Merry Christmas. Hello, Olga, and blessings to you as well. Thank you for being here. All right, we got a first timer here today. Welcome, Darla. Welcome to the live stream and Merry Christmas to you. You say you're all the way from Ohio. Yes, my brother lives in Ohio, or one of my brothers does. Hello, Lucy. Merry Christmas to you. Hello, Uper Prepper. Good to see you. Yeah, you guys, if you're up, you're in the UP of Michigan, you guys are getting a whole bunch of snow, probably more than 35 inches. Yeah, you're going to get a whole bunch of snow up there. Let's see. Hey, Svein, how you doing, Svein? Merry Christmas to you. Good to see you. Welcome. How you doing, Southern Tier Prepper? Merry Christmas to you as well. I don't think I will. Copernicus asked, will I be putting up a Christmas Day live stream chat so people are on their own? I'm not sure that I will on Christmas. I know I do that on I do it on Thanksgiving, but Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, is I didn't do it last year. I don't think I've ever done it on Christmas. I think that on Christmas Day, I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that day 100% for my family and I. Not that I don't love you all, you know that I do. But on that day, I'm probably not going to come in the bunker at all. Well, okay, Sandra, thank you for joining in if you're taking off. Thank you. And have a Merry Christmas as well. David D, do not freeze dry butter, okay? Maybe if you turn butter into powder, but don't freeze dry butter. I tried that and it made a heck of a mess. I'm still having nightmares about the mess that I made when I tried to freeze dry butter. Right? It was a mess. Thankfully, it's really easy to clean the inside of a freeze dryer. It's not hard to clean it because there's not a lot of parts. But yeah, I tried freeze drying butter once just to see how it will work. No good. Well, Tigger, if it depends on what type of solar you have. So, like if you have solar in the form of solar generators, LifePole 4 is right now it's the best. But if you have like solar that you have like in your house, I believe that the not the AGM, but the lead acid batteries that you can actually service, the ones that you have to add water to and all that kind of stuff, those, from what I've been told, I don't have any of those. But from talking to the person that works at the solar shop here in Fairbanks, those are the best ones to have that will last the longest, have the longest life. So it just depends what application you're going to use it for. I really like solar generators because they're just plug and play. So I really like, I have a whole bunch of solar panels and I'm eventually going to put them up, but I'm going to be directing them toward my solar generators. I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to get a system up here that's one of those big systems like household that I can put underneath my house where it's temperature control, and then have my solar panels going to that system, and then having that system like being octopused out to areas of my house, like running a power line to areas of my house where I know that I'm going to need power in case of a power outage. So that's what I plan on doing eventually. But if that never happens, I still want to put up the solar panels so that I can at least route them to different parts of my house for the solar generators that I'll have whenever the power goes out. Merry Christmas, Michelle. Oh, freezing butter. Okay. David says, yeah, I mean, freezing butter, it'll last. I mean, I've got butter in the freezer from when Sam's Club used to be here, and that was 3 years ago. I still have 1 4-pound block of butter that I purchased at Sam's Club before they left Fairbanks, and that was more than 3 years ago now, about 3 years and 2 months ago. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And it's still in its original packaging. Because when you're dealing with butter, you have very little water with salt, if it's salted butter, and just the butter fat. So you really don't have a lot of stuff in there that can go bad and where bacteria can grow. And if it's frozen, you should be fine. Let me see. Yeah, we still have power. It looks like our power is back for good. That's good. So yeah, so I've had it for about 3 years and 2 months now, and absolutely nothing wrong with it. I have no, if you don't have at least 50 pounds of butter in your freezer, you can't call yourself a prepper, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So make sure that you work up to that 50 pounds of butter. Hello, CJ Black, and Merry Christmas to you as well. Let's see. Okay. Oh, awesome. Sundays is doing a live during Christmas. Well, maybe I'll join in on that live then. Or not join in. Maybe I'll just be in the chats. Let's see. Fernway asks, AP, do you think our military retirement will be affected by the coming changes? Oh, yeah. I mean, it will be because inflation is going to eat it away. I mean, people have asked me before, if we're on Social Security, if we have a government pension, do you think it's going to stop? I don't think it'll ever stop. I think the government will continue to send us, because I get a government pension, send us our pensions, our Social Security, all that stuff. They'll continue to send it to us. The thing is ask yourself, if you're on Social Security or if you're on a government pension, can whatever money you make from your government pension or Social Security, can you buy the same stuff this year with that same amount of money than you could last year? The answer for me is absolutely not. I was talking to my wife here, I don't know, less than a month ago. We had a conversation. I said, you know what? The money that I started receiving for my pension, my military pension in 2016, which is when I retired from the military, the money I started receiving then bought me more than the money that I receive now can. And every year we've received a cost of living allowance increase. So even though even though I'm receiving from my pension hundreds of dollars more per month today than I did when I first retired, I can buy more stuff with that lesser amount of money than I can now with what I'm receiving now. So yeah, I don't believe that your pension is going to go anywhere. Your Social Security is not going to go anywhere. It's just that the money that they send you, it's not going to be able to keep up with inflation. Therefore, your standard of living is going to go down if that's the only income you have. Mayor, I don't know. Mayor asks, how can I put up whole milk for needle whole milk for long term? I've never tried that milk. I hear it's really good, that powdered milk. I've never put it away for long term or ever put it away because I pretty much just get my nutrient survival milk to put away for long term because it's already prepackaged. And of course, you all know that I love nutrient survival. So I can't really tell you The only caution that I would say is that is since it's whole milk, then if you properly package it with an oxygen absorber, put it away properly and all that stuff in a temperature controlled room, keep it away from pests, keep it away from sunlight, all those things that you're supposed to do, that it will last a good long while, but that the longer that you keep it stored, maybe the flavor may be a little bit off. I'm talking like if you keep it stored for 5-10 years, the flavor may be a little bit off because of the fat in it, but I still think that it will last a long while. But I just can't tell you for sure because I've never done it. Hello, Jessica, and thank you. Same to you, Jessica. Okay, that's great. Well, that's great. Lori's Thrifty Kitchen is doing a live stream for those alone on Christmas. That's good. That is really good. I'm glad that they are. Well, Linda, in the Alaska Prepper household, butter makes everything better. So no, we probably go through about, let me think, if it's not like the holiday, because like on Thanksgiving, my wife used about 2 pounds of butter for Thanksgiving dinner for all of the stuff that she was making. But I would say that we probably go through about, I don't know, maybe a little less than a pound a week, between a half a pound to 3/4 of a pound a week, maybe. So I guess in a way that's kind of a lot in a way, but it's not really that much because we really like to eat eggs. We really like eating eggs, and I really like eggs, and I always fry my eggs in butter or cook my eggs in butter too. Redneck Prepper asks, do you think your son will like to build a house on your land also? Well, where we're at, we can't have more than one residential home built on our land. We have to ask permission, believe it or not. We're not that far outside the county, which in a way is good. In a way, I'm fine with that. But if he decides to build a home, I'll definitely help him build it. Oh, yeah. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think I am going to call it in about another 10, 15 minutes because my voice is starting to go. And I forgot that I have to meet up with Billy Bob today. Let's see. Yeah. So I do have to meet up with him along with all that other stuff I have to do. In this season, asked, do you can any of your butter? I don't can the butter, but I make ghee out of it, and I can the ghee because the ghee will pretty much last indefinitely, in my opinion. Oh wow, look at that! Whole bunch of snow is coming right off the trees. Yeah, we just got a big gust of wind, and the snow is getting blown off the trees. That's good. But anyways, the ghee, I'm working off of a jar of ghee that I processed back in like 2013, I believe it was. And absolutely nothing wrong with it. It actually tastes really, really good. So yeah, it'll pretty much, and I've kept it not refrigerator or anything like that, just in my pantry for all that time. Man, Kim's Cluckers, you're going to have to get those chickens to work. You better tell them chickens, hey, you better start laying some eggs or we're going to have some chicken stew for dinner tonight. See how fast they start doing that work. All right, so I'm looking for any other questions that you may have, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about any of this other stuff that I had because it's nothing that's happy talk. I'm trying to keep it to Q&A and some happy talk today, apart from that FBI stuff we talked about, because it is the last live stream before Christmas. Let's see. Okay. Cranky old lady says, does 50 pounds of butt count? Well, I was talking about butter because I've already got that taken care of. I've already got the 50 pounds of butt taken care of, Cranky. Oh, goodness. Okay, okay. I'm looking. I'm looking. Yeah, that Nestle Quick milk, the one that comes in the square containers. I think I forget what they call it. Terrapack. Yeah, it's Terrapack, I believe. That lasts a long time past its best buy date. We're still working on a case that the best buy date, I believe, was like last February. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You just have to make sure that once you open it, you put it in the fridge. And it only comes in quart sizes, so it doesn't take that long to drink it. Man, I'm pretty impressed with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Emmanuel Bravo, I've done a video showing you how to make ghee in two different ways, one in a large batch and one in a small batch where you can do 1 pint of ghee in literally like 15 minutes. So if you want to find that, just go into the search on YouTube and type in Alaska Prepper Ghee, Ghee, and both of those videos should come up. And if you watch the fifth, I think it was like a 15-minute video, because I show you how to make 1 pint of ghee in like 15 minutes. That way you can try it and know that you like it and be confident in knowing that you can actually do it with only 1 pound of butter one time before you try doing the big batch. So go check that out. It's only 15 minutes. And trust me, it's so easy to do. And ghee is so good to cook with. It has a high flash point so you can fry with it. Eggs come out great with it. And it really goes a really long way. You don't have to use a lot of it to fry whatever you need to fry. Oh, that's awesome. Duck eggs would be nice. Duck's eggs are a little bit bigger than chicken eggs. Oh, well, I guess depends on the size of the eggs, of course, of the ducks. Hello, Lucy, and thank you, Lucy, for being here, by the way. Same to you, Nanny Granny. Blessings to you as well and your family. And Merry Christmas to you. All right. Thank you, Be Free, Be Frugal. Merry Christmas to you as well, and the best Happy New Year as well. I hope we can always hope that next year is going to be better, and as long as we're waking up every day, that means that there's still hope. So, we'll just take the challenges of next year as they come. I want to say that this year, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, a lot of the things that we talked about coming into 2022, a lot of those things are actually happening. So we just need to continue to prepare. As long as we don't stop, as long as we continue to fill in those gaps, as long as we just continue to have that thought, that mind thought, or that thought of mind of thought, or however you say it, right? As long as we continue to have that in the forefront of our head, that we need to continue to prepare. It doesn't have to become your life, but make sure that you're always thinking about, what can I do for this? If something else comes up that you aren't prepared for, what can you do to get ready for that? Because there's so many things that you can prepare for. But then again, all we really need for the masses, what we really need is just the basic things. Like right now with what's going on in the lower 48, with all people that are going through this cold spell down there. We already heard someone that says, man, I'm glad I was prepared because we lost the use of our forced air heater. Imagine if that person wasn't prepared. What are you going to do? There's a lot of bad things that can happen. Cold doesn't care who you are. It doesn't. Absolutely not, Ruben. Ruben Reyes asks, can you use a generator in the garage if it is using propane? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? No. Absolutely not. Do not do that. I said it like 5 times because it's important that you understand that. No. Do not use your generator in a garage. No. Chief Prepper, Merry Christmas. Well, Emmanuel, the best powdered milk, I mean, I've used Oxen Farms powdered milk and it was fine. I've used the LDS powdered milk and it was fine. They all tasted like milk. They're all packaged to last a very long time. The reason why I always revert back to nutrient survival is because of all of the nutrients that it has in their foods and their beverages. That's the only reason I always revert back to nutrient survival. Because, for example, nutrient survival milk, it tastes like milk, but it's got a whole bunch of nutrients in it that the other brands don't have. And yes, I understand that nutrient survival is pricey, but you get exactly what you pay for. But pretty much any powder milk, even the powdered milk that you get at the store, if you just want to have that, it'll last a very long time. It'll probably outlive you if you properly package it. All right. But again, I go back to nutrient survival on almost any questions that I get for long-term food storage. I go back to nutrient survival because they really are the best and most nutrient that there is. Leon, thank you very much, Leon Dyson, and Merry Christmas to you. Well, Jeff, I really didn't ask for anything for Christmas, but I already know that I'm getting some Christmas presents. I mean, I just don't, it's like I said, we're all in different parts of our lives, right? And I'm in that part of my life where this is a very happy part of my life, very good part of my life, where if I need something, I can pretty much get it within reason. Like I can't just go get an $80,000 truck, right? And I probably wouldn't do that anyways. I would have to be filthy rich in fiat currency to do that, but I won't do that. But if I want something, I just go get it. So I'm in that part of my life where I really don't need presents. To me, my gift is having my family around in Christmas, and now this year is going to be extra special that we have Michael with us. So don't really need anything, and if there is something that we need, we just get it. But there's really nothing really materialistic that I really care to get for Christmas. And I'm sure I'm getting something because my wife is the real Santa Claus. She is the one that goes out and says, "No, it's Christmas. We're going to get this for the kids." I'm like, "Okay, you go do your thing. That's awesome. Go do your thing. It makes you happy. That's great." All right. Fernwood Chronicles. Is it a bad idea to put a damper in a wooden stovepipe? I don't think so. I think a damper is used in order to regulate the airflow. All right. But I can't really talk about that expertly because I do not use a wood stove on a regular basis. But I don't think it's a bad idea. I think that's what a damper is for. It's in order to regulate the rate at which air goes into your chamber and therefore burns your wood faster or slower. So I would say not, but I can't answer that 100%. All right. Well, Margaret, one of the rules that I've always heard, it's just a rule that I've always heard, and is something that I personally abide by, is that when you're going to use a generator, if you're going to have it next to an opening that goes into your home, that you should be at least 15, 25 feet away from your house. So like my generator, my house generator, whenever I use it, it's way below the level of any entry to my house, like a window or a door. It's way below the level, and it's far out. It's about 15 feet out away from the house, and it's way below the house. So I would not do it on a screened-in porch, on a screened-in patio. I would not. But it depends on, for example, that screened-in patio. How many openings do you have that go into your house? You just don't want that carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide to get into your house in any way. Just think about that. You don't want that to happen. You're so much better off just keeping it away from any entries or any gaps that may be open that will allow any air into your house. You're just so much better off doing it that way. If it means that you have to buy extra power cords or whatever, I would do that before trying to put it closer to the house out of convenience. It's just you have too much to lose by doing that. Hello, David Burdett, and Merry Christmas to you. Hello, Christina Chipwood. Merry Christmas to you as well, and Happy New Year. Thank you, Crystal. Have a great day. I think, yeah, we're about to close it down, aren't we? Yes, we are, because I do have stuff to do. Let's see. Alberta Prepper says propane is almost useless to use when the temperatures are below 38 degrees Celsius. They do sell covers for propane tanks. They have a little heater in it that regulates that, so that you can use that. So you could do that. I mean, if I were just talking to myself and having a conversation with myself, I'd be like, man, if it ever gets that cold and my propane tank is freezing up, I would just go get one of those like transmission heater pads that you put like on a transmission and do that. That's what I would do, because you only need a little bit of heat on that propane tank for it to be okay, for it, for the propane to stay liquid inside and gaseous, leaving it through the regulator. So that's what I would do in a grave emergency. But yeah, that's something that you will want to know. That way you can prepare for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the live stream, if you've never been on a live stream before, right, and or if you are new to the AP community, meaning that you've subscribed within like the last 2 weeks, during our outro, go ahead and put "I am new" in all caps so that we can shout you out and you can see your name on the screen and everyone can say hello to you and welcome you to our community. I'm going to say it one last time for those of you that weren't here earlier. For those of you that wanted to get your contingency medical and notice that their page was down, it is back up. Make sure that you look below and use that code so that you can get 10% off instead of $10 off. That 10% off code is going to be good for the next 5 days. All right. So if you're going to get that, get it within the next 5 days so you can save $30 instead of $10. Other than that, I want to say, hey, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much. I had a great time. Look at this. 2 hours and 31 minutes in right now. All right. Had a great time. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope that those that see this live stream go up understand that it's replacing the live stream that we would have had at 2 p.m. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Victor just walked in here and he scared me because I thought a tree fell over. Close the door, dude. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are still here, if you just, that's fine. If you want to say hello to Victor before say hello, Victor. Don't just stand there. Okay.
I do what I please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's doing as he pleases. That's it. Say Merry Christmas. Say Merry Christmas.
It is pagan holiday.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in today. For those of you that haven't met Victor before, there's a long story behind it, okay? Anyways, we will see you all. I think our next live stream is next Friday. We're not going to have one this Sunday, but I'll keep you updated as I put up videos. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Thank you again to all of you that joined in today. We had a great time. God bless you all, and have a Merry Christmas. Be safe out there. Don't be traveling in these crazy conditions in the lower 48 unless you absolutely have to. Be safe, and Merry Christmas again. God bless you all.